Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about creating your ultimate final 17. So I'm going to go through what I think is going to be that final 17, the best 17 you can get. It's my opinion, guys, so obviously everyone can think a little bit differently. It's just trying to get you to think a little bit around who you would like to be bringing in now, especially looking at, say, myself. I've only got 8 trades left. Right now, you don't want to be thinking about bringing in a mid-range or anything like that. You want to be thinking, if I'm trading out an injured guy, if I'm upgrading a player, it's to someone from this final 17. And looking at your team, working out where you're at, am I missing a gun front rower? Do I need a gun center? Whatever it is, just thinking about that. It's only upgrading and downgrading. So, with 8 trades, I can only probably upgrade 2 more people and downgrade 2 to get to my final squad, leaving 4 trades for injuries only. So with that in mind, we're going to change to my notes screen. Just whipped up this little final 17 as to what I think that is. So if we're just going for your 13 to start, Cam McInnes, clearly the best player in the game, averaging 74. No questions asked. He should be the hooker that you're chasing. Obviously, price comes into it and where we're at, but that's the number one guy there. From row forward, it's very clear. Payne Haas and Alex Twal are the 2 best. Twal's averaging 59, but if you take out his injury affected score, he'd been averaging mid-60s and very comfortably. So obviously this week he might not play as many minutes, but going forward, they dropped Eisenhuth for a reason. He's going to be going back to playing big minutes, and he's very helpful for them there. So Payne Haas, clear best front rower. There you 2 there. Second row forwards, Taumalolo, clearly the best at 66 average. Ryan Madison's just had 2 average weeks, but he was an absolute gun before that. And I've thrown the smoky in at second row forward for number 3 in John Bateman. So this third position is not extremely clear. And just based on how well he went last year, obviously he's come back from a big injury, so might not be picking him up this week. You should see maybe a price drop or 2. Maybe not play his max minutes, but he's an absolute gun. The game's quickened up. The second row forwards getting a lot of points. You can see blokes like Madison and Bateman's very similar to that. So he's my number 3. Take that as you will. In the halves, we've got Nathan Cleary and DCE are the clear top 2. Benny Hunt would be your 3rd, which you'll see I popped him down in the reserves, but he is obviously playing a little bit more in the hooker role. So they're the top 2 clear ones. For obvious reasons, both really control their teams. They're the types of guys that you want to look for. Obviously, Mitch Moses is scoring really well also when he plays, but he does have Dylan Brown there and a lot of other great players in the squad. So they're the 2 halves. Centers, so I've gone for the Dragons pairing. So Zach Lomax, clear the best. He's someone you want in your side, by the end, let's say that. And then Ewan Aiken is the other one. Since he's started, he's averaging in the mid 45. So 45 to 50. Take out his 2 scores at the start where he got sort of mid to low 20s. He is averaging 45, which is perfect for a centre. And with the Dragons playing a lot better, he's doing really well. Notable people to miss out was Bradman Best, but I've decided to put him in on the reserves for obvious reasons later. Wing fullback, there's only 2 real clear guns, and that's Teddy and Ponga. No worries with those guys. They're the 2 guys you clearly want. At a minimum, you'd want one. And then the third one, I couldn't decide between Gutho, Nofaluma, and Dufty, all averaging 50, all playing well. Obviously, a little bit up and down, but that's completely normal for this position. Pick who you like from there. And other than that, there's you got blokes like Tom Trobb who's injured and stuff, but he's not going to be someone you want to bring in. Anyway, when he comes back, because he's up and down, and he's not a clear tackle-busting gun like Teddy and Ponga. So they're my thoughts on wing fullback. And then reserves, I wanted to try and cover each position. So these aren't the next best players in terms of averages across the whole team, but we're looking for safety in terms of if there are injuries, because we have a limited amount of trades, like I've written down the bottom there. You want to be safe for injuries. So Damien Cook or Harry Grant. A lot of people have Harry Grant, and that might be just as easy. So Cook's averaging a few more points, but he's your next best option there. So he covers the hooker position. You got Pat Carrigan, who's playing amazingly well, covers front row forward and second row forward. So he's perfect for that position. You got Benny Hunt there, as I said, scoring really well when he plays the 9. Obviously playing 7 this week, but going forward he'll be back in the hooker role. Scoring really well. He's going to be able to cover half and hooker there. And then Bradman Best, a lot of people have him, so that was the easiest one to pop in there. Averaging 45, believe it or not. A lot of people got rid of him after a couple of average scores, but overall he's averaging 45, and that's keeper worthy for centers. So he covers center and wing fullback, which is awesome there. So there you go, guys. So I've had a few people who have asked me about sort of who would you want in your final 17, or what are the guns in each position, and this is what I've come up with. This is for right now. So obviously there's a few guys that are injured who could be in there, but this is if you're trying to make it in the next couple of weeks. These are the types of guys you want to look at to get into your squad. So think about that for your team now. If I'm going to make a trade, should I make it to one of these guys? Yes. Don't think about the mid-rangers. I've seen a few people mention like blokes like RFM and stuff like that to bring in. I understand we're light on money as well, and no one's going to have this final 17. But if you can get close to it as possible, you're going to do really, really well in the back, sort of 7 to 8 rounds there. So think about that. Let me know how many of these guys you have in your team. I don't have many, if I'm being honest. I got Payne Haas, Cleary, and Ponga, Carrigan, and Hunt and Best. So only and Grant. So sorry, that's about 7 there out of the 17, which is okay. And I look to hopefully have about 10 of them by the end, which I feel will help me do fairly well for the end of the season. Obviously, hoping I keep my trades saved enough so that I can cover some injuries at the end. But if you set up in the reserves like that, that'll be really helpful, guys. As I said, let me know how many you've got. Subscribe if you haven't, and click that notification bell so you get a message of when I post. And good luck this week, guys.